I want to bring in Igor Novikov, former advisor to Ukrainian President Zelensky. Thank you for joining us. I want to start off by reading part of an editorial in the Kyiv Independent that talked about what it's been like to watch these negotiations unfold from inside Ukraine. The paper says, quote, being at the epicenter of the storm, having lived through 3 years of Russia's full-scale war and all that comes with it, we now have to watch as Russia is about to not just get away with all of its crimes, but be rewarded for them. Do you think that is the feeling? Is that the sentiment Ukrainians are having? And what do people say about these talks, about these negotiations when you talk to them?
Well, there's definitely a sense of major disappointment because we've survived 3 years of horrible atrocities. And I mean, the bombings haven't stopped. Kyiv has been bombed a week ago with ballistic missiles. So nothing has ended. And at the same time, we're seeing, the new administration actually playing in Russia's favor, pretty much. I mean, if you don't believe me, just name one concession Russia made to be at that table today. They haven't. I mean, they're a clear victor of this. And obviously, it's heartbreaking, given the fact that the alliance is falling apart and we have to rely pretty much on our European allies, on Turkey, on Great Britain, and on ourselves, first and foremost. But having said that, Ukraine is really good at saying no. So I wouldn't necessarily concede to the fact that Ukraine will be on the table, because for us to be on the table, we need to say yes to that as well. Let me remind you about Kyiv in 3 days.
Do you think the U.S. is a reliable ally for Ukraine? Can you count on the U.S. to be there? And do you trust President Trump to negotiate on Kyiv's behalf?
Well, it's not a simple answer, to that question. I mean, do I trust President Trump? That remains to be seen because he's only just assumed office, and he's a businessman. So his approach is going to be completely different from what we've been seeing over the last 3 years. So, the wars cannot be won without weapons, and peace deals and negotiations cannot start without a conversation. So on that front, obviously, we expected him to speak to Russia at some point. Now, I'm not comfortable with the fact that my president is being ignored and he's not at that table, that Russia has the first word in this, especially Russia that never sticks to its promises, Russia that uses disinformation. So, it's a difficult situation, but, whatever optimist is left in me would say that give it some time. It's definitely not over. And, the most important thing here is to keep the faith. I mean, we've been through 3 years of this, so hopefully, it's not over till it's over.
I mean, when you say give it some time, I mean, it's been now 1,090 days since the war began. I have to tell you, I was there on day one on the border watching Ukrainian refugees come across. Ukrainians are incredibly tough. I think the entire world has been impressed by the perseverance. But at some point, that exhaustion has got to start wearing on the people there. I want to play some of what Ukrainians told the Kyiv Post about their fears that even if a deal is reached, that the war is never really going to end.
We know that they will come back in a few years and they will be more powerful and it will be one more level of hell.
I think Russia will be aggressive all the time. I think Russian people don't want peace. They don't know about war. I think that Russia will continue the war.
So this is the concern, right, is even if there is a ceasefire, that could almost benefit Russia because they can go back and regroup. And can Ukrainians ever really trust that this threat of invasion won't be looming over them for years to come?
Well, we had one simple answer, NATO, but that's not happening. So, and to be honest, I mean, I think we're missing the major elephant in the room. Russia is likely to come back in a few years, even if there is a peace deal and ceasefire, even if we're integrated into the Western society, because that's just simply Russia. But there's a more imminent threat. Russia now is insisting on immediate elections in Ukraine. And given the fact that half the country is abroad, half the country is on the front lines, and it's literally chaotic, it's really easy for them to stage that election, bring in a Russian puppet, and conquer Ukraine in the easier manner without having to return with tanks and weapons in 2 years' time. So there's a lot of dangers out there for Ukraine. But one thing I do believe is Ukrainian people. I mean, I think 3 years is enough for the world to believe that we're not going to give up. And it's a choice between life and death for us. It's that simple.